You need to try and pick off the units as. Look at the shields on the Martin.
Oh my God, the ball is gonna
What's up? What's up? This is Pain User.
What's up? What's up? This is HD.
And we have game 2 between ATN, Zoc, and Liquid Rhett for you guys. Rhett spawning as our pink Zerg at the 3 o'clock position. And we do have Zoc, his opponent, spawning as the teal Protoss at the 12 o'clock. And what a game we are in store for. These are two phenomenal players, two of my favorites. And game 1 going to Rhett after some epic macro and some great reinforcing, losing his entire initial push, reinforcing it twice, bolstering his numbers, and just kind of rolling over Zoc.
Yeah, let me remind you guys, see, this is the losers bracket, round 2. So, you know, if Zoc loses this game, he's out of the IPL, man.
He is indeed.
That's not good if you...
It's a very short-lived tournament for him.
Yeah, if you just get knocked out, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
So, pressure is on Zoc right now. And you're right, the first game was just an epic display of macro from Rhett.
Oh, for sure.
You know what they call that?
Sauron Zerg.
Yeah. They call that the Sauron Zerg.
That was Sauron Zerg style right there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not full Sauron Zerg style. He didn't quite have, you know, the half map going with creep everywhere.
No,
but
he didn't. But he had a bunch of forces combo lining
absolutely.
into
Everything
the
was
enemy.
rallied to Zoc's third, and
Yeah.
he was able to get so many Roaches and Hydras in there. Zoc was just completely overwhelmed, and Rhett, skipping the third base, just heads right to the main and starts camping the production facilities. I mean, he, like I said in that game, was just smelling blood and went for it 100%.
Yeah, I think one of the attributes of being a Sauron Zerg is being able to smell blood and when to attack.
Well, I think one of the attributes of just being a great Zerg, if you look at a player like July Zerg, so good at sniffing out when his opponent...
Such a good comparison.
Yeah. Sniffing out when his opponent has this slight weakness. And July, one of those players that's just capable of flipping a switch, going into this super aggro, aggressive style. And it's not like he does that very often and gets held off. A lot of the time, July Zerg goes into a super aggressive mode, he wins games.
Yeah.
And that's the key point right there. There's a lot of players who will go super aggressive, but it's at a point in the game where their opponent can either, you know, get enough forces to just barely hold it off or hold it off while retaining a little bit of damage, but work their way back into the game. July just kills people. And that's pretty much what Rhett just did.
You know what he does, man? He eats them for breakfast. Well, guys, this is going to be game 2. We don't have July Zerg, but we do have Rhett, who has shown us the fearsome macro play of a true Zerg player. I can't wait to see what he does on this map. It is Terminus, another big macro map, and oh my god, another double expand from Rhett. I like it.
I like it too. I mean, Rhett just knows that the style of Zoc with this early expand, Forge first, it's going to be a while before he can apply any kind of real threatening pressure, anything that's really going to hurt him. So, you know, he does have a little bit of extra time to get that third up and running. He will get that high, rich Vespene geyser going, and, you know, look to see him possibly get some higher gas units this game, maybe mix in some infestors, possibly mutas. But, I mean, if I know Rhett, he's probably going to stick with the meat and potatoes. Lings, Roaches, Hydras. I mean, that's really just his style of play. He is such a macro-oriented player.
Yeah. I would expect him to go with a pretty standard opening after this, you know, after all these hatcheries. And by when I say that, I mean, you know, standard, just Roaches, Hydras, Corruptors. Roach Corruptor is really one of the most fearsome combinations against that Protoss Death Ball. Zoc, though, on this map, here's the difference, Pain User, is he has an option to grab a quick third. You know, unlike the last game, which was on Shakuris Plateau, Zoc he forged fast expanded, he stayed on 2 base, he didn't have a place to really get that third early on. Yes, he broke the rocks down and went to the south, but on this map, due to the way the map is designed, I think Zoc could safely go for a quicker third than in the last one.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Almost likely. He is going to get that Stargate, however, and look to do some harassment with that at the third. He is close by air to Rhett's third, so a little bit of a positional bonus there for Zoc. He's going to be able to do some some serious harassment over at that third, but I can't help but think that Rhett will be prepared for this. He has to assume, and it looks like his Overlord is headed into the main right now. Is Rhett going to spot that Stargate? He hasn't seen it yet. Just flying to the back of the natural right now, not really focused on getting too much intel with this Overlord, probably trying to get to safety, but, this Sentry might be able to take it out. This could be a close one here.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a close one. I think Zoc will not be able to get it, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to get away.
Yeah, the Overlord's just a little bit too beefy for that Sentry's laser ray. Oh, Overlord making a big of a detour here, and it sees the Stargate. Going to come back in here just to confirm. I don't think he actually clicked the building, and he is going to see it. He's going to know exactly what's coming. You guys saw the little pink highlight there, which means he did click the building, and he knows Void Rays are on the way.
He does know Void Rays are on the way, and he's going to take the necessary steps to deal with that. Let's see what he does about it. He does have the Evo Chamber up and running already. He has Zerg, Spines, attack grooves on the way, and getting that early layer once again. Going to get those Hydras out, but I hope he doesn't wait too long because we already have a Void Ray out on the field, and if Rhett waits as long as he did last game, he did lose that third expansion, but was able to just power through that so well. Hardly taking any drone losses, immediately dropped a different third. Once that went up, Maynard did a ton of drones over there, and then just double expanded and started rallying all those troops. So amazing recovery.
His strategy really, when you're down and out, double expand.
Is he gonna see the third? We do have Rhett trying to come in here and take a peek.
Yeah, I don't know if he saw that. Let's go ahead and check the vision there. No, he did not. And I was talking about this before, Pain User. On a map like this, the Protoss has the option to grab that third really quickly. And this is quicker than the last game on Shakur's Plateau, simply because there's no rocks to break down. And you feel a little safer because, hey, you only have one entrance to cover. So Zoc does have that third Nexus going up, but immediately Rhett is going to throw up that fourth in the middle of the map. His creep has not quite reached down there yet, and the hatchery is going to take some fire. Phoenix coming in here as well, and he may be forced to cancel this hatchery.
And we do have ranged attack upgrades on the way. Pneumatized Carapace, Ventral Sacs, Burrowed, never mind, Roach Speed, Glial Reconstitution.
That's such a weird upgrade name for the Roach Speed.
I know, right? And then we also have a Hydra Den just finished for Rhett, so he will be able to get some Hydras out on the field. He is going to ward off this Void Ray, not taking too much damage here. And look at the creep spread from Rhett. He has 3 creep tumors working through the middle of the map.
The drone count for Rhett. Good lord.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You were like looking around and you're like, what am I talking about? The drone count, man. 98 drones.
Unbelievable. We're at 10 minutes and 31 seconds into the game, and he hasn't been droning for a little bit.
Dude, he has more drones than he has army. Like, I think if he sent his drone army in here, he might even be able to do some serious damage.
Well, I mean, we should look to see Rhett start to trade pretty soon here. His resources are just going to be out of control.
Yeah.
95 harvesters right now, and he does have drop and speed on the way. He is getting groove spines for the Hydralisks. So look to see Rhett start dropping the main and harassing the main of Zoc. Zoc just getting his infrastructure up and running right now. He does have additional attack upgrades on the way. 156 to 101 for the supplies right now. This is just such impressive macro, and I love the fact that we were talking about Rhett's macro and how much of a beast he is, and then he just answers our call. Makes us look so good. Doesn't always work out that way.
No, it doesn't. Sometimes we just look like idiots.
But Rhett just macroing impeccably this game.
Yeah. I'm glad we look smart today. He has a lot of Hydras and Roaches on the field, and he can do so much damage, man. This is almost like a... Dude, this reminds me of a 5-hatch Hydra build in a way. In the old days of Brood War, Zerg players would go 5-hatch Hydra. It almost looks like that in a way. He's got so many Hydras in the middle of the map right now, and you know what 5-hatch Hydra was good against? Breaking down Forge Fast Expand.
Oh, for certain.
Yeah.
It was also kind of a response to that Corsair Reaver style that Bisu pioneered. And we do have quite a few sentries out of Zoc right now. He has so many sentries. How many sentries does he have right now? Let's check that out.
Let's take a look.
10 sentries right now. If all those sentries max out on energy, that is 40 force fields. He could afford to draw hearts around Rhett's army if he wanted to. I mean, that is just so many force fields at your disposal.
Oh my God, Pain User.
Here it comes.
Rhett is going to do the Doom drop here. He has loaded up what seems to be about 15 Overlords. They are almost all at full capacity, but Zoc here with a couple Stalkers just waiting. It looks like Rhett going to take another alternative here.
I don't know why he's worried about those 4 Stalkers. He should have just forced the drop. Absolutely. And it looks like he's going to go for this position at the top of the ramp, which is definitely a good position for him. Some of the Overlords going down immediately. All of his forces getting force fielded within the same spot.
Yeah.
And oh no.
This is just beautiful for the Colossus. Look at all those forces getting roasted when they're clamped up underneath. Now Rhett's going to try to drop over the Colossus. Does he have enough forces to break Zoc right here? Zoc has lost his only Colossus. Rhett is bringing the pain, and on the production tab, we have more units flooding in. Income tab still showing Rhett is far ahead, and Rhett may have taken this game with the drop.
Did you see Rhett pick up and drop those units that were trapped in the middle of the force field during the battle right there? That was such quick battle micro, such sharp decision making, and it looks like he might be able to get another Colossus here. No, just getting it into the high yellow, and Rhett will eventually be forced out of Zoc's base, but at what cost? Zoc has lost so many of those sentries.
Entire army.
Yeah, and Rhett can afford to throw those units away right now. He can more than afford to throw those units away. He's actually got an entire another batch of units ready to go.
This is the advantage of having 100 harvesters. You have your whole army maxed, and you have 3,000 minerals.
And it looks like this time we're going to see Banelings in the mix. We are going to have a full-blown Baneling drop from Rhett. I love this. He has the money to do it. There's no two ways about it. And oh my goodness, I hope Zoc doesn't pressure out too far with that Expeditionary Force, because as soon as he leaves the base, Rhett looks to be coming in with drop version 2.0, and he is loading up.
You know what drop version 2.0 is? These are the B-52 bombers, man. Overlords have been evolved. They now have the ability to drop off these green sacks, which do a lot of damage, and Rhett here is going to be pushing forward. Let's see if he can get the bombs off on the right spot. The Protoss forces are just baited and waiting. Rhett is going to drop the Banelings off, and they're going to destroy the Stalker force along with the Colossus. Zoc has to fall back, and he's not going to be able to hold the middle of the ground.
Rhett just playing so well right now. I mean, this is one of the best games I've seen out of him. He's floating almost 4K minerals right now. That is one of those Donald Trump-sized trust funds. He just broke 4K, and the funny thing is that he doesn't even need any of it. He's been maxed almost this entire time. There's nowhere for him to spend all that money, and he is doing so well against this primarily gateway composition from Zoc right now. Zoc has been trying to build up the Colossus count, but he keeps losing all of the Colossus in these small conflicts.
Yeah, and guess what, Pain User? We have Sauron Zerg on the way. The forces are streaming from every which way.
Double macro hatch at the natural.
Yeah. That's a good point, too. He just has so much money. He needs hatcheries for more larvae. He's bringing in just lings and corruptors right now. He has a surplus of minerals, and I don't know if Zoc can weather the storm, because the storm brings with it 500 plus Zerglings. I mean, I think that's how many he could make with 6,000 minerals. So,
absolutely.
I don't know, man. I think this may be the end of the road.
Well, he is producing 34, 40 Zerglings out of all of his hatcheries right now, and Adrenal Glands is about 95% done. As soon as that Adrenal Glands upgrade kicks in, those Zerglings are going to become Cracklings. And then Zoc has a problem, because Cracklings are no joke. Zerglings do so much DPS with that added upgrade, and a lot of players actually forget about that upgrade once they get to Hive stage. You don't see it out of a lot of players, and Rhett losing a few Zerglings here, not really paying attention.
That's all right, man.
He does have a pretty sizable squad back at his fourth, although he might be in a tiny bit of trouble here producing all these Zerglings instead of some hardy Roaches and perhaps Hydralisks. But I think by the time Zoc gets over to the fourth, Rhett will have more than enough to deal with this push. 200 to 139 supply.
Yeah, Rhett right now is just buying time for his 13 Hydras to come out. You know what I was going to say? Most people worry about termites in their house. You need to worry about cracklings in your house. But now you got to worry about banelings in your house.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett really using Zerglings and banelings to their fullest effect this game. Zoc just trying to make something happen here, but one huge problem. Look at Zoc's army. he has no sentries. He's not going to be able to force field those Banelings off of his army, and I foresee this as being a huge problem. We do have the Banelings rolling in now, and it's going to go down.
Oh my god, Zakir trying to get on the other side of that half pipe where he has the high ground, but it doesn't really matter. The Banelings steamroll the Zealots in the front, and that is such a large Corruptor army. I don't think these Colossus stand a chance. That will force the retreat of Zok, and Liquid Ret here continuing to push the subject. He has so many roaches and hydras. I don't think Zok can hold this off. This may be the next, I think this is like the 4th wave. I just don't see him holding this one off.
Oh my god, Blink Stalkers dying everywhere. This is madness. The Hydra's
this
doing
isn't madness, this is Sparta!
The Hydra's doing so well against these Stalkers. Zok just suffering heavy losses right now. He cannot be losing these units right now. He cannot afford this. And Zok calls GG.
Yep.
He's out of the tournament.
That's it for Zok, man.
Oh my goodness.
God. Jesus. What just happened?
That was such an impressive game out of Ret. I mean, if you could play a game of StarCraft out, picture perfect in your head, the untouched, unharassed Zerg, able to macro like that, I mean, man, I know everybody calls Idra the macro monster, that macro player, but Ret making it look easy right there.
Yeah, it almost seems like second nature when you watch Ret play Zerg. It's like, huh, that's how you should play Zerg.
I couldn't agree more.
I'm gonna go home. I think I'm gonna play some StarCraft 2, man. I'm just gonna try to play like Ret, but I think I'm gonna get my butt kicked.
Well, I'm not a Zerg player on that level, but it still looks pretty to me.
Yeah, what a beauty that game was. If you're a Zerg fan, if you're a Ret fan, put your hands together because he has won this game against Zok. He will stay alive in the loser's bracket, and no one deserves it more.
Yep, congratulations to Ret. And if you guys enjoyed that series and you've been enjoying the IPL, make sure to check out IGN.com/IPL. You can find some of our social media links in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And if you need those links verbally, head to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, JustinTV.com/IGN Pro League. Make sure to follow on Justin TV. And if you've enjoyed me and HD's casts, be sure and check me out at twitter.com/PainUser and youtube.com/StrapBunker.
You guys can find me at youtube.com/HDStarcraft. Thank you all for staying tuned. We have more IPL content coming at you guys. Just stay tuned. HD and PainUser signing out.